Hi there, Linda Wood here. I thought I'd just come on to talk about this work-life balance thing. Some of you might know that I've got a group on Facebook called Get a Balanced Life, and I know that the term can be a little bit controversial. There's been all kinds of debate in the past in some of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, where there's lots of working women in particular who prefer the term blend and so on rather than balance. But I've got my own take on it and thought I'd share some of that. So I think work-life balance is something that most of us say we would like to have and would like to achieve, but we don't often stop to think about what it really means and what it really is. So I will ask you what you think it is. If I don't cover the elements of what you think it might be, then please add them in the comments, and do let me know if you're watching. Put something in the comments so that I know that you've been here. So I think some people think that work-life balance is a thing that you do achieve. It's like a set point at some point you're going to achieve this amazing thing and it's going to feel a certain way. So it's something we actually achieve, or a place that we arrive at in our life where we just suddenly think, oh yeah, ain't life grand now that I've achieved this work-life balance. But in effect, life is always changing, isn't it? The world is changing, our situation is always changing. So I don't think it's something that we ever arrive at and think, yes, now I've got it. We will just experience times when life is a lot better than others, perhaps. So I think of it mainly as an aspiration. It's like a continuous balancing act rather than striking the right balance or blend. And it's a balancing act between four things, I reckon. So one of them is about having enough oomph and energy, vitality and good health to actually be able to live your life to the full, to actually have fun, have enough drive to be able to achieve the things that you need to do each day. But it's not just all about hard work. It's not just to do work. It's to actually live your life and have excitement and adventure. So the second point that I think it involves is doing things that are meaningful to you, so that you've got some kind of purpose and a sense of achievement in your life. Whether you get this from work or elsewhere in your life, it might be through hobbies or things that you do voluntarily, volunteering in the community, anything. If it's giving you a sense of purpose and achievement, then that's a really important aspect. I'm not somebody that can just be sitting doing nothing. I like to be achieving things and learning things as well, so that's part of this learning and growing. The third element is about the quality of our relationships, and having enough space for quality relationships with those that are the most important people in our lives. It's no good being busy all the time doing stuff in other areas if we're then very lonely and isolated. And I've got it wrong. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, which is why I know that that's so important. And then I think there's also an element here, the fourth point I would say it involves, is having the right resources and support available in your life and in your personal networks, so that your lifestyle and your balance, if you like, is sustainable and secure. So it's no good having loads and loads of fulfillment in your life if you can't feed your family, for example. So you do need to have the right resources, and money is one of those. So I think we can get close to this panacea, if you like, of balance and having a nice balanced life, but we have to consistently make little adjustments and make the right decisions along the way. We're making choices every day, and that can be as simple as making choices to have something healthy to eat rather than a cream bun. It's as simple as that. That would affect my health and my vitality. We're making choices all the time. So I got it wrong. I got it so wrong a few years back, and I am really passionate about helping people to not feel how I felt, which is why I do what I do now. But I'll just tell you a little bit about what happened to me. So I've had times when my balancing skills I've been very, very poor, and the choices I made really worked against me in the end. And it nearly led to me being burnt out. I was absolutely exhausted, I was stressed, and I was isolated. I felt really lonely. So what happened? Well, basically my working life, I had an amazing career. It's what I thought I really wanted. That had taken top priority, and it had meant that I had to adjust quite a few things in the way that I led my life. And I was living away from home at the time. I was away during the week and just back for weekends, but all the time I was focused on getting ready to go back for the following week. All the chores had to be done, and had to do my washing and my packing and so on. So even when I was at home, I wasn't really present, if you like. I wasn't enjoying it and having a great time. I was just thinking about what was going to happen next all the time. It affected my close relationships, of course it did, because I just didn't have enough time for them, or I was catching up on some sleep, because my sleep was so disturbed during the week because I was stressed and I'd wake up in the night and so on. I felt edgy and stressed all the time, and I certainly wasn't taking proper care of myself. I did exercise a lot, and I now realise that my exercise regime was to stop my brain being so busy all the time. It was the only time I could justify not being busy with work. That was kind of my escape valve, but it was always only temporary. So I'd get the temporary high, I'd get the relief from having to be thinking about everything when I was doing the exercise, but then I would be back in the zone as soon as the endorphins kind of wore off, and the happiness factor from having done a great workout. So it wasn't good. I was running myself ragged. Even the exercise was becoming a bit obsessive, because I obviously needed that time out, but it was too much. I was taking it too far. So I was really down the list of priorities in my life, and I knew eventually that I had to make some big changes and make some choices, and I quit that working life pattern completely. So I know from personal experience how awful it is to not have the balance right, and I am very passionate about helping people who are feeling that way to find their way out of it, because sometimes when you're caught up in it, you can't see what sometimes it's not hard, you don't all have to make dramatic changes, but sometimes you can't see what the simple tweaks might be that could really make a big difference. So if you think you need help with that, I'd be delighted to talk to you. No obligation, just have a chat and let's see if there's something I can help you with. But I hope you're really good at getting your balancing act in gear, and don't need to talk to me about things like this. But obviously I'm here if you need me. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.